by Jordan. Open. Chicago.
All right, welcome back, guys. Another episode of All in the Mix. This is episode 15, I believe. So today I got a special guest host with me today. I'll be doing this every so often. I'll have like an episode where I'll interview somebody, or I'll have like a guest host. That's just the way we're gonna rock, make things a little bit better, a little bit easier. So what's going on, Nigel? How you doing, bro?
What's up, Quinn, man? It's been a long time, man. Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I can say, well, I haven't put out an episode in a couple weeks because I put on my Instagram that there was I had a little personal issue. I got a concussion, sprained my neck. Long story, but I'm good. So,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. And also, I wanted to say we are on Twitch now, playing games. I'll be playing like 2K, Madden, GTA, MLB. I'll be playing all types of other shit, but follow us on there. It's all in the mix _Q. I stream like randomly throughout the day for like an hour or so. So tap in if you want. I'm not like the best. It's just funny and like I talk a lot of shit. So like it's all. So we'll just hop right into it. We're gonna start off with a new segment. We're gonna be talking about WNBA just a little bit. The season just started, so there's not a whole lot of exciting stuff going on. Not a whole lot going on in general, but each team has played about like 7 or 8 games. So I'll start with the Eastern Conference. The Connecticut Sun is the best team in the East right now. They're led by Nijel Jones and Dewana Bonner, averaging 21, 11, and 18 and 7. I have yet to catch one of their games, but I mean, from what I was reading, from what I've seen, the scores of their games, they're pretty damn good. And those two are pretty good as well. So shout out to the Connecticut Sun. I gotta try to catch a game soon. I know we want to start covering the WNBA more, so that would be cool. Then the New York Liberty are in second place. They're 5-2. They're led by Nijel Jones and Sabrina Ionescu, averaging 22, 4 and 5, and 16, 6 and 7. Yeah, Sabrina Ionescu is nice. I don't know. I did see. I believe it was their first game. She hit like a buzzer beater game winner
Off the backboard.
Yeah, bucket. She's nice. This is technically her rookie year because she didn't play last year because she got hurt. I think it was like she tore her Achilles or something happened.
That's baller, man.
Yeah, she's nice. Shout out to the Liberty. I don't know too much about them, but I know that Sabrina Ionescu is like probably going to be the next greatest women's basketball player.
Just be franchise for that team for real.
Yeah. That's a great look for New York too. They're doing big. The Knicks are good. The Nets are good. The Liberty are good now, so that'll give them hoops all across the board. So shout out to them. Moving on, the Atlanta Dream. They're 4-2. They're led by Courtney Williams and Tiffany Hayes, 19, 7 and 4, and 16, 2 and 3. The Atlanta Dream, they had a lot of I guess what was it, like off the court things with their old owner. I guess she wasn't trying to let them use the arena for like voting, and you remember hearing about that? So I guess one of the players wanted to buy the team, but the rule was you can't own a team if you're still playing. And she was like in her prime, and she just straight up retired and bought the team. Like her and her whole group, and now that organization has turned around. They're really good, and hopefully that's good for Atlanta too. They got the Hawks, they got the Dream. So
yeah, it's like the same thing with Maya Moore.
Mm-hmm.
She retired and she became
she's like a paralegal,
social justice leader, and she like freed a man. She got a man freed, and she married him, and she like fell in love. She retired from the league.
That's crazy
for him and her.
Yeah, that's big time. That's big time.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Thanks.
Going back to your community.
Absolutely. Moving on to the West, the number one team in the WNBA actually is the reigning champs, Seattle Storm. They're led by Breanna Stewart, averaging 22, 10 and 2, and Jewel Lloyd averaging 19, 5 and 5. That team, I've watched a couple of their games. They're really good. Sue Bird is is still Sue Bird. She's like what, late 30s. She's still averaging, I believe she's averaging like 12 and 8 or 12 and 10, something like that. 4-time champion.
Right.
I mean,
But what else can you get from her?
yeah. What else can you say? She's arguably one of the best ever to do it in women's basketball. So, also the Seattle Storm, their head coach, he just retired the other day, like after one of the games, and then they hired a new coach. I'm not too sure what her name was. I missed it, but she's a younger. I think she's an ex-player. She's now the head coach, so they're in good hands. So Seattle Storm looking to make another run in the championship, get a fifth one. And so the next team would be the Las Vegas Aces. They're 5-2. They're led by Asia Wilson, who's averaging 19, 7 and 2, and Jackie Young is averaging 15 and 4. And I believe they also have Kelsey Plum too. I think she's on the Aces. She's having a really good year too. They're pretty good. Have you caught any of these games yet? Have you heard about any of these players yet?
I've seen a couple of the Aces games, and I heard about what's her name? Cambridge.
Yeah.
Tall girl.
Mhm.
She's a monster, dude.
She's a monster. She's like 6'8", right?
Yeah, something like that.
Big as
Australian. Or if she's like, I think she's from New Zealand or she's Australian.
Yeah,
She's a monster, dude.
she's big time.
Mhm.
Big time. To wrap it up with the WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury sit in third place, led by Skylar Diggins, who's averaging 16, 3 and 5, and Brittany Griner, who's averaging 16, 8 rebounds and 3 blocks. They're also going to be missing Diana Taurasi for almost 2 months. She fractured her sternum. I believe she caught like an elbow or a shoulder a couple weeks ago, so she's going to be out for a while. But I mean, the Mercury are still in pretty good shape. The rest of the West really isn't that good. The Sparks are not that good. Dallas Wings and the Minnesota Lynx, they're bottom of the league teams as well. So, I mean, those 3 teams are going to be really the only teams to, I guess, look at right now, especially the Seattle Storms. I believe they have the best player in the league, Breanna Stewart. She's a monster.
She is.
She was like the quickest ever to like 2,500 points and like 1,000 rebounds, something like that. Like monster.
The Sparks.
So, yeah. What was that?
Oh, I was saying, my bad. I was saying, the Sparks are 2-2 because they don't have Candace Parker this year. She went back
moved
home.
on to Chicago.
Yeah, she's leading that team. I don't know what their record. What is their record?
Who, the Chicago Sky?
Sky.
They're 2-4. They're the 4th seed right now.
It's her first year, but she's gonna
they'll be all right.
There you go.
Obviously, we're gonna have more to cover at the WNBA as the season goes on. It's still really early, and their season is still kind of weird too. It's not normal, just like the NBA. So it'll take me a little bit to figure this one out, but I'm sure there'll be more news and scores and stuff. I definitely want to be sure we get on top of that stuff just to give them some coverage because they deserve it. Moving on to the NBA, let's talk about these fans. You know, me and Nigel, we talked about it the other day. I'm like, man, we got to talk about what the hell is going on. These people are acting like, I mean, they're acting like they haven't been in public they've been locked up for a year. But I mean, but still, like, a lot of this shit is, I mean, all of it is inexcusable as a human being. We'll start with the very first one that popped off. It was a fan threw popcorn at Russell Westbrook as he was leaving game 2. He was injured. He was leaving the court, walking through the tunnel, and some guy poured popcorn down the tunnel. They said he's going to have his season tickets revoked and that he'll be banned from the Wells Fargo Center. I don't know what's going on with these bans. I don't know how they're going to keep track of that shit. I mean, I feel like you could just have somebody else buy a ticket for you and you could go to the game. But I guess they're saying that just as like, oh, look here, we're doing something about it. But Nigel, I know you saw the video too of Russell Westbrook. Selfishly, I would have loved to see him run in the stands and beat this guy's ass. But at the same time, like these fans need to also remember that they're not at like a zoo. You know, you can't just throw shit at people. You can't say whatever you want. Like, I don't know. What's your opinion on this first situation here with Russell Westbrook?
He had the right reaction to it. I mean, it's disrespectful in so many ways, just in the fact that these players are putting their heart and soul and their blood, sweat, and tears to put on a performance for you guys,
Yeah.
and you guys aren't doing nothing but just watching him, and you're gonna just disrespect them and just throw popcorn and all of that, like they're at like either a zoo or like a comedy stand up,
Like they're at a fucking circus or something.
right, like they're circus animals. They're human beings. Is disrespectful,
Yeah.
and Russell Westbrook had the right reaction. And if it happened earlier through the tunnel when it was just him and the trainer,
Yeah.
I think
Who knows? Who knows what would have happened?
probably been another malice.
Yeah.
The reaction that he and knowing Russell Westbrook, he would have let loose for real.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, hopefully that one gets figured out. Russell Westbrook's not one to be fucked with, I don't think so. I think people should just start leaving these players alone. So moving on to the next one, I believe it was the same night. Trae Young was taking the ball out courtside at the Knicks game. A fan that was sitting behind 50 Cent actually leaned over and spit on Trae Young. I don't think Trae Young even noticed at the time because he didn't really have a reaction to it. But that's just flat out disgusting. Like, I think that is the most disrespectful thing you could do to another person. Like, I don't know what would go through your head to just be like, you know what, let me just spit on this guy. Like that's just, you're looking at somebody else like they're nothing if you need to spit on them, you know. I don't agree with any of that stuff. And the Knicks said the same thing. He's going to be banned from Madison Square Garden. Like, okay, congratulations. Like, that's like assault, I think. Like, I don't know. Well,
Yeah, Dan.
how do you feel about this? The whole spitting on Trae Young situation.
Like I said, like it's just a lot of like they're getting out of hand, dude. It's like just the fact that you've been out of the public for a year, you think you can act up once you get back. Like, no, same shit still applies, bro. Still the same laws and all the rules and all, and like you can't just disregard that. And the fact that not even that, just manners and being respectful to the players that are once again putting their heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears on a physical game.
Yeah.
Just gonna put your whole DNA on this man, whole DNA.
But like the crazy part is, like, you know, these people are doing this shit, but you're paying to go to the game.
Right. So what's the point?
And to think, how much do you think that guy's tickets cost right there?
He was right there, so it's probably
he was second row.
Or they're in the Garden.
They were at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, they're in the Garden. That was probably like
that's a few thousand. Yeah, that's a few thousand right there. That's crazy. The next one, we have a total of 5, so we're on the third one now. I don't know if this one didn't really get as much coverage as a few of these other ones did, but 3 Utah Jazz fans have been banned from their games indefinitely after making racist and lewd remarks towards John Morant's parents during, I believe it was game 2 also. Yeah, they said a lot of racist shit that I'm not gonna repeat it. If you guys want to go look it up and read about it, they said some pretty fucked up things to them. You know, to yell at the players is one thing, but to yell at their parents is just like it's just a whole nother like form of disrespect, you know, like, and of Utah of all places. I mean, it doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't surprise me, but like, if it had to be anywhere, you know, I would suspect it to come from Utah. But I mean, that one sucks, you know, to say those kind of things to the parents and the mom and the dad, and that's outrageous. Hopefully they get that shit together, because I know Dwayne Wade is now one of the owners over there, so hopefully, you know, he has some input and will hopefully get these people to act right. The next one, everybody saw this one. A fan threw a water bottle at Kyrie Irving after game 4. He's actually facing assault and battery with a dangerous weapon charges. The 21-year-old is also banned for life from the TD Garden and from being at Celtics games. Yeah, you can go ahead and take this one. So I don't have anything to say.
Oh, assault and battery with a deadly weapon. See, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I mean,
The dude
that's crazy.
who spit on Trey Young should get the same charge.
I think they said he's looking at like an assault charge or something like
Yeah, he should get the same charge. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to throw, and he threw it from far, so he targeted him.
I showed you the video, bro. He launched that shit. Like,
Launched that, launched that shit, and then to disrespect the logo is another thing.
okay,
But
but I don't think that's
no,
you
it's
don't
not.
have to throw a water bottle.
Anything, no, hell no. It didn't have anything to do with that. They just hate Kyrie. They
Yeah,
didn't have anything to do with. They hate Kyrie, and they hate a lot of the players from the organization. I mean, it's repetitive. They're known for that.
it's been going on for years,
Like the
decades.
city of Boston and all sports do that. Like the Patriots, the Red Sox, they do that all the time. And it's just like it just needs to stop. Like every state, it needs to stop. It's just
Yeah,
totally disrespectful.
yeah. That one was crazy. And then the last one last night, a fan ran on the court during Game 4 in Washington. He was trying to jump up and grab the rim during the game. He just ran on he just ran on the court and jumped up and tried to grab the rim. The arena says that he's banned for life, and they're looking into like trespassing charges, I guess, is what they were looking at for him. That one was actually really funny. I don't know.
I don't mind that. That's part of that's what the game brings. That's excitement.
That one was funny. I think that one was like the most okay one, I guess.
I guess, yeah, because it happens, but the court is just too small.
Yeah,
And you're gonna
yeah,
run you're gonna end up getting dunked on one of these plays.
yeah. That shit was funny. I saw the video. He ran out there and the security like tackled him on the court. Like,
Here's that man.
yeah. Anyways, moving on. Lakers extended their contract at Staples Center through 2041. The mother fools are gonna have to leave sometime soon. Today is actually June 1st, so I gotta remind them rent is due. So make sure you guys get your rent in on time to Staples. Make sure you guys are allowed to come back. So
Paid mine.
check on that one. Next one, this one's tough. Really hard thing for the Bucks. Dante D Vincenzo is going to miss the rest of the playoffs. He tore a ligament in his ankle. I saw the play. It just looked like an ordinary, like he rolled his ankle, but apparently he tore a ligament. I think that's a big blow for them. You know, he was really coming into his own, starting in that 2 spot, right along with Drew Holiday. And the Bucks look good. They beat the hell out the Miami Heat, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But I don't know how much this will affect them going forward, but I think it's a big hit. They're probably going to have to see Brooklyn next. So, I don't know how well DiVincenzo is going to match up with Kyrie or James Harden, but now it's a little tougher anyways. But that's tough. Sorry for them. Last one, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to be missing Game 5 today, June 1st, with a strained left groin, or I think it was the left groin. But me and Nigel have talked about this like off camera. I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm extremely frustrated with the way the Lakers are playing. The way Anthony Davis in particular has been, I don't know, getting hurt a lot and missing games and missing time. It's really hurting us, and I don't think we should be tied to with the Phoenix Suns. I don't care if they're the second seed. We're a much better basketball team. But we'll be all right. So hopefully we get something done today. Moving on to the awards. They've done about half of the awards now. A new award that they announced, the Sekou Smith Award, which honors the player on a team's roster who best represents themselves and the franchise with professionalism and integrity with the media. The winner of that inaugural award was John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks. Cool.
Great. Congratulations to him, man.
Yeah, good for him. Shout out to John Collins. I know he's a good guy. Comes from a military family, so I'm pretty sure he's extremely professional and has a lot of integrity. So good for him. Most improved. We called this one on the show, Julius Randle. Again, regular season award. May I remind everybody, all of these are regular season awards. Julius Randle has not played very well in the playoffs. He had a hell of a year, regular season, like I said. There's still, I mean, he still had a great year regardless, but he's struggling a little bit. They're down 3-1. Not looking too pretty over there, but like I said, we'll talk about the playoffs in a little bit. Sixth man of the year, we called it on the show, Jordan Clarkson. Shout out to Jordan Clarkson, good for him. He's got one job, go in there and score. So, and he did that all year. I think, this award could have gone to Derrick Rose as well. Derrick Rose played really well this year, and he's playing well in the playoffs, but, the Knicks. Coach of the Year finalists, they announced it as Quinn Snyder, Tom Thibodeau, and Monty Williams. Who are you kind of leaning towards for your personal opinion? And then who do you think the NBA is going to have win the award?
Me personally, I think it should go to Monty Williams, just because the fact that they got back to the playoffs since 2010.
Something like that.
Like that, or 2010.
I think it was like 10 or 12, yeah.
Yeah, and he's reunited with Chris Paul, and that's been a joyride for them. And they're playing against my guys right now, and it's gonna go down for them. But I think he should get it personally. And the NBA is gonna probably give it to Quinn Snyder just because the Utah Jazz got #1 seed in the West.
Yeah, I agree. I believe my prediction was Quinn Snyder because, like you said, the NBA is going to give it to whoever has the best record, and it was the Jazz. So good for him. You can't go wrong really either way with Monty Williams or Tom Thibodeau, because the Knicks, he turned that team looks like trash on paper, and then they're actually really good. So, but Monty Williams has earned this, I believe, as well. He, has been fired a lot, moved around a lot, like not even really his fault. But I'm glad he's getting a chance to be a part of a really good organization. Shout out to James Jones, the general manager. He's a hell of a GM too.
Mm-hmm.
So good for them. Rookie of the Year finalist. It says LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton. I'm assuming they just threw Tyrese Halliburton in just because they needed 3 people. But it's gonna be LaMelo Ball. I don't really like.
Yeah.
There's no other option there. Defensive Player of the Year finalists. They said it's Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, and Ben Simmons. I'll start on this one. Who do I think is gonna get it? I think Rudy Gobert is going to get it because I know the NBA is going to give it to him, So I feel like it's going to be Rudy Gobert. I would want it to go to Ben Simmons just because, like, I don't really fuck with Draymond Green like that. So I don't, I rock with Ben Simmons, but I think it's going to go to Rudy Gobert. So what about you? Are you feeling any type of way about this one?
Yeah, same. Draymond just plays defense, but he consistently fouls. Like, it's like not really
Probably hacks.
Like, bro hacks. Gobert plays great. He plays good defense for him being 7, whatever. He's good for that. But Ben Simmons plays all position defense. He guards the ball. He guards posts, guards wings, and he'll give you a bucket. So
yeah. Rudy Gobert is rim protector on Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
So anybody gets this award, good for them. I guess. Most valuable player finalists: Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic. I think that Nikola Jokic is going to get it. I'm pretty sure the NBA is going to give it to him also. I don't think it'll go to Embiid because he missed a lot of games this year. I think he missed too many games. And then Steph Curry, yes, he was scoring champion this year, but his team didn't make the playoffs. What else? I mean, he had one really, really good stretch where he, had like 12 or 15 games of like 30, 40, 50.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be second, but I think it'll go to Jokic. What do you think?
At the end of the day, yeah, it's gonna go to Jokic. If the Warriors would have made the playoffs,
It would be a different story.
be a different story. Yeah, he would probably would have got it. But yeah, I think he's gonna go to Jokic with the near fact that the way the how he positioned the team and seeding in the playoffs without his Robin, without Jamal Murray being out for the whole season,
Yeah, it's
and
big time.
yeah, it's huge, and they keep up the ball rolling for them. So, but it's gonna go down for them too once my guys get it together. So it's gonna all be solid.
Good comedy. So last thing about some news. Man, this is a tough one. Mark Eaton, 7'4" shot blocking king, who was twice the defensive player of the year. He spent his entire career with the Utah Jazz. He died at 64. At the time, it said they didn't give any details about what happened, but I believe he died in like a bicycle accident.
Yeah,
That's a tough one. That's like the second player that has died from a bicycle accident, Sean Bradley, too, recently. But that's tough. You know, Mark Eaton was a hell of a player. Obviously, two-time defensive player of the year. That's a tough one. That one kind of came out of nowhere. That's pretty sad. You know, prayers up for his family, Utah Jazz community. So moving on to the playoffs. Let's talk about round one. We'll start with 1-8 in the East, Philadelphia versus Washington. This series is 3-1. The 76ers are led by Ben Simmons, who's averaging a triple-double, 14, 12, and 11. The Wizards are led by, of course, none other than Bradley Beal. He's averaging 33, 7, and 4. What have you seen in this series? We could probably keep it short here because this one's going to be over soon.
that's gonna be over soon. Although if Embiid is not playing, he got hurt last game.
He did. Yeah, he did get hurt yesterday.
Playing, the Wizards might have a chance off the near fact that it would be basically Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris versus Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal.
I agree. I don't know. I don't want to necessarily say Embiid being out gives the Wizards a better chance. It gives them a chance to win like another game, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think just all around Philadelphia is just like way better.
Yeah, they are.
I think like you said, I think Washington. I think they could will another game in, make it 3-2 just to make the series a little longer, but it won't go on too much longer. But shout out to the Wizards. Shout out to Russ and Bradley Beal. You know, they did the damn thing all year. They pretty much, I mean, they carried that team on their own. So good for them. Hopefully they figure something out in free agency. We'll get to that later. Okay, moving on to the 1-8 in the West, Utah and Memphis. I mean, this series is 3-1. Utah is led by Mike Conley, averaging 21, 5, and 13 assists. And the Grizzlies are led by John Morant, 36, 4, and 5. It's tough. I mean, Jazz, best team in the league, record-wise. It's going to be tough when the only guys scoring the ball are John Morant and Dylan Brooks. You can't win a basketball. You can't win a series like that. I mean, they've won a game. I don't know if it'll go to 6. It might if they can get one more in, but I don't know. What do you think about the series?
It's gonna be over soon. If they would have won when it was 2-1, it would be a different story. They had that game in the bag, but they let it go.
I also think that if Donovan Mitchell was playing in game 1, I don't know if Utah would have lost that game either.
I don't lost that game either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the only game they won, right? So far? Game 1. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Knicks in Atlanta, 4-5. This one went the way I didn't think it was gonna go. The Atlanta Hawks are up 3-1 in the series. Derrick Rose leads the Knicks, averaging 24, 5, and 4, which it's crazy to say that in 2021. But Trae Young is leading the Hawks, 27, 3, and 10. You know, the game that the Knicks won was the only game they played well. As you watch these other games, like they're playing like shit. Julius Randle can't score. He's like 1 for 9 in the first half, 1 for 13 through 3 quarters. Like I mean, when your only guy scoring is an older Derrick Rose, you're going to be in trouble. I mean, you're down 3-1 to a really young Hawks team, who can score, who can shoot. So this one's probably going to be over tomorrow. I think they play tomorrow. So
Yeah, they play tomorrow.
what have you seen from the Hawks that makes them so much better than the Knicks? Like what would be a reason that they would give the next team a challenge to?
Leadership. They have the young leadership in Trey Young. I mean, he's really improvising on a lot of stuff, and it's showing.
Mm-hmm.
When they ran the same play 3 times. One of these games, they ran the same play 3 times. It'd be like a double high pick and roll.
Mm-hmm.
One of them slip, one of them a roll. It was 3 different results every time. Man, his IQ and the way he brings his team together is just it's very different from what the Knicks are doing, where Julius Randle is doing a lot of ISO ball and it's not a lot of positive results. I mean, and Derrick Rose is trying to bring that team together, but you can see that their kind of egos are kind of coming out
Yeah,
and flipping.
yeah, it's a little tough.
Time to bring it together.
And I honestly think Nate McMillan has a huge part in their success too. He's a hell of a coach. He's really taken that team. They were bottom of the league when he got there the beginning of the season. Now they're about to win a playoff series. So shout out to Atlanta Hawks. They'll probably be facing Philly next. So we'll see how that one goes. Anyways, the 4-5 in the West is the Clippers and the Mavericks. That series is 2-2. The Clippers are led by Kawhi Leonard, averaging 34, 8 and 4. Jesus. Luka Doncic leads the Mavericks, averaging 38, 8 and 9. I think I've said this before. You know, Luka has something against the Clippers. I don't know what it is. He has got some weird vendetta against the Clippers. He absolutely shits on them every time he plays against them. Except for this last game, I know he got hurt. But yeah, he's averaging 38, 8 and 9. That's pretty tough to do. I don't know about this series, man. It started off 2-0. Dallas was up, so I was like, okay, get the Clippers out of here. And then the Clippers went to Dallas and took both away games. So now I don't know. It could go either way now. As dumb as that sounds, it really could go either way. I think Dallas just needs more from Porzingis. We need more. We need a lot more. You can't have Luka averaging a 40-point triple-double and the series be this close.
Right.
I think KP has to step up. Tim Hardaway's doing a good job, but he's got to do more. Finney Smith has to do more. What's his name? Brunson has to do more. Everybody needs to step up. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this series. What do you think?
I want to say I don't like the Clippers either, so I'm gonna take Dallas. I need, like you said, KP needs to put on that New York jersey under that Dallas jersey and get to rocking, man. We need to see that Porzingis, man, and Luka. I mean, they said there was an update yesterday. They said that his neck is feeling a lot much better from.
Yeah, I know they said he's gonna play, but
and he has 2 more days off, so
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he'll be like 80, 90%, and he's just gonna go and just give a fuck and bust their ass. Fuck
yeah,
that.
I agree. I think that the key to Dallas winning, like we both said, has to be Porzingis has to step up big time, because he's bigger than everybody on the Clippers, and he can shoot and get to the rim. So I mean, he's got to be a big difference maker. But I think the benches are going to be the biggest difference maker in the series for both teams. Whoever's bench can produce the most, I think, is going to take the series. Because both teams have a pretty they don't have a great bench, but they have a decent bench.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a battle of the benches, because the superstars are doing superstar things right now. They're averaging 30, 40 points. So what more can you ask from those guys? Moving on, Milwaukee and Miami series is done. Only sweep of the first round. Milwaukee won 4-0. This is not the bubble. This is not the bubble. Apparently, you can go from a finals appearance to a first round sweep exit. Sorry, Miami. Apparently, they were just missing Myers Leonard and Jay Crowder. So apparently that was what the key was.
And not only did Oladipo get hurt too.
Yeah, Oladipo got hurt. But Oladipo wasn't on the team last year. They still went to the finals.
Spikes.
Yeah, that's tough. Giannis led the way, 23, 15, and 7, and then Bam Adebayo is 15, 9, and 4. Giannis played really well this series. Chris Middleton played really well. Drew Holiday played really well. For the people that watched the games, the only game that was close was game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Middleton hit a game winner, but every game after that was 20 plus.
Ass whooping.
Yeah, it was a straight ass whooping. So, and like we said, they're going to be missing D Vincenzo now, so this might be tough going to the next round. But I think either way, the next matchup is going to be tough. So,
the next round.
Yeah, probably. So 3-6 in the West, Denver and good old Portland. It is 2-2. Jokic is leading the way, 31, 11, and 3. Damian Lillard leads the way for the Trailblazers, 34 and 9. I guess Portland's whole game plan was to make Jokic score and not let him facilitate. He's only averaging 3 assists. I think on the season he was averaging like 10. So that's working, but the series is 2-2. I thought Portland would kind of breeze through this one, but Denver does not go away. As we could see from last year to this year, they don't go away. So, what are you seeing from Denver that that could push them over the top of the series?
Collective effort, man. Everybody's just playing together. Monte Morris is stepping up. We got Paul Millsap being his veteran self, stepping up. Jokic is just gonna have to play his game.
Michael Porter Jr.'s got to be there.
Jr. being very productive. Yeah, Jokic is gonna have to play his game, and even though he can't facilitate, he can still be productive with rebounds. He's gonna find his way. He's gonna break through. But I think I don't know if
I think Aaron Gordon could be an X factor too.
He's a who? Aaron Gordon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, man, he needs to put more on the table as well, and I think they'll take it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't know. I think now Portland's looking a little shaky. They started off strong, but 2-2. I think MVP Jokic could take this series. So we'll see. Moving on to the 2-7 in the East is Brooklyn and Boston. It's 3-1 right now. KD's averaging 32, 9, and 2. Jason Tatum's averaging 27, 4, and 4. The only game Boston has won, Jason Tatum had to score 50.
50.
Yeah, good 50 ball too. That was nasty. But yeah, I think Brooklyn's going to take this whenever they play next. I believe it's tomorrow, if not.
Yeah. Might be today.
It might be today. Let me check actually. But what do you? Yeah, it is today, 4:30. Yeah. So this one's probably going to be over today. Brooklyn is it's tough when 2 of those guys play well. When 3 of those guys play well, you're probably not going to win. I don't really see them having a hard time in the East because, for them to lose, all 3 of those guys have to have a bad game. That's not going to happen.
Chances of that are slim.
Yeah, very slim. You got Kyrie, James Harden, KD. All 3 of those guys have a shit game. Like, congratulations. You just, you might as well go buy a lottery ticket too. But yeah, Brooklyn's going to take this one. So moving on to the 2-7 in the West. This is a series we've been waiting to talk about. Phoenix and the Lakers. Phoenix is led by Devin Booker, averaging 24, 4, and 5. Lakers are led by Anthony Davis, who's averaging 27, 9, and 3. I don't know, man. I think if we don't win today, it's ugly.
It's ugly.
It's ugly.
Ugly.
Because if he plays in game 6 after we lose, it's going to be that, it's his first game back from an injury, so he needs to but we can't fuck around when we're down 3-2 because if we lose, then it's up. So, I don't know. Phoenix is a really fucking good basketball team. Chris Paul is a really good basketball player. Devin Booker is really good. DeAndre Ayton, I mean, if you watch the first 2 games, he was kicking Anthony Davis's ass first 2 games. So he's playing well. Mikal Bridges can shoot the hell out the ball. Jay Crowder is going to be out there and be a tough guy. So he's not going to score too much. Obviously, he's like 1 for 20 from 3 in the series. So I don't know. Give it. I know we're both fans of the Lakers here, but give a realistic take of how can this series go?
It can honestly go either way. It's gonna the way they're looking now because of the unhealthiness of the Lakers roster and LeBron being 36 damn years old. I don't think he's gonna. Me personally, I think he's gonna be able to do it. But the way that, given the physical capability that he's gone through this season, is gonna be really, 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 really tough for him to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis just needs to pull through. I mean, sometimes you gotta just play through some shit, especially when it comes down to you facing damn near elimination and you going home with the fishes, man. You want that
First
happen
round.
after winning a ring? After winning a ring, you want that to happen again?
And we talked about Miami being in the finals and going out in the first round is bad. Lakers coming off a championship and losing in the first round.
Right.
That's worse than getting swept. Like
that's literally history repeating itself.
yeah.
That's what happened to.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, I mean, we both said if they lose today and we go down 3-2, it's ugly. Game 5 today is in Phoenix, so that I don't know how much that's gonna affect the game, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Definitely got to tune into that. It's gonna be a good game. Hopefully, I need LeBron to do his thing tonight.
Sure.
For sure. So that concludes the first round. I mean, we're gonna have more to talk about as the rounds get smaller, actually, because there's gonna be more going on, obviously. But one thing I wanted to talk about before we get out of here is I want to take a very early look at free agency. Free agency doesn't start till August 2nd, but I got a list of about like 15 to 20 people that are like notable that are going to be free agents. I got notes on a couple just because they're bigger name players. So I'll start with the first one. I put them in order in what I think like of their importance to free agency. Number 1, I put Kawhi. He has a player option. I think the biggest question, obviously, is will he enter free agency? He can opt in and stay with the Clippers for another, I believe it's a year. It might be 2 years, or he gets 2, or he could enter just straight up free agency. I think he's the biggest question mark for this entire list. For everybody else, because if they're going to be like, okay, well, whatever Kawhi does, that's going to have a trickle down effect with everybody else. What are you thinking? Put yourself in Kawhi's shoes right now, right? What are you doing in free agency?
I'm basing it off of how this playoff run goes. If they get knocked out this round, like yo, I'm gonna have to rethink my position being on this side of LA. To the other side, which you should have done in the first place. But and then you being with, and then it's been what 2 years having Paul George, and him not putting up the performances that you thought that he was going to do.
Expected.
Right. So do you come back to the Clippers and decide to move him, or it's a lot of question marks based off of this playoff run, how it goes to me.
Yeah, I agree. I have the same thoughts. I was thinking, when I was taking these notes, they were down 2-0.
Mhm.
I was like, well, shit, they're gonna get swept, so he's gone. I wouldn't come back if I got swept by Dallas in the first round, but I think it definitely depends on the entire playoff run this year, but it definitely depends on this first round, for sure. Because I mean, it's an easy answer for me. If I lose in the first round, I'm out. Um,
No.
but we'll see. We'll see what Kawhi does. He's an interesting individual. Doesn't really give people a whole lot to work with, so it'll be interesting following that as we get there. The next person I put down was Chris Paul. He also has a player option. If he opts into his player option, it's 1 year, $44 million. If he opts out, he could get a significantly less amount of money, but he could be trying to get a multi-year deal instead of trying to live with a 1 year. Will he opt out of his contract? Is that 44 million going to be too enticing to say no? Because will he get 44 million a year on a multi-year deal somewhere else? I would have a hard time saying yes.
Yeah, on that.
So I mean, Chris Paul, what are you thinking here? Are you thinking about money? Are you going to stay in Phoenix for another year, get 44 million, or are you going to try to win a ring and sign a smaller 2-3 year deal with somebody else that's competing for a championship?
At this point in my career, if I'm Chris Paul, I would honestly go get a chaser ring, man, because you have the accolades other than that. So you might as well go add that to your thing. But this Phoenix Suns have potential.
That's what I'm saying.
They have potential. They need like one more.
They need another wing.
They need one more piece. They have really, really good potential. They just need one more piece.
I think if they had a really good 3-and-D guy, they would be set.
Right.
They would be set. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for Chris Paul. I mean, because 44 million and staying with the Suns team for another year sounds great.
Great.
But securing a 2 or 3 year deal with a team that could possibly get you a championship with you having to do less also sounds nice.
Right.
So, I mean, he's 35, 36 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know. We gotta make good choices here this summer. We gotta make good choices.
Right.
Another guy, I wanted to put him at number 2, but I gotta talk about Demar Derozan. This year he averaged 21, 4, and 7. This is career high average in assists. He shot 49% from the field, 88% from the free throw line, a not so good 25% from 3. He's not a 3-point shooter though, so I can't hate too much on that one. I think he can get paid big time this summer. Mm-hmm. He did exactly what he had to do in San Antonio, no more, no less. They got his 20 and 5, right? Where could he go though? Because I'm thinking, it's no secret that he wants to come to LA, right?
Right. It's no secret he wants to come home.
It's no secret, but could he look to form his own big 3 somewhere else, right? And this is just a crazy thought, right? What about a team like the Wizards, right? DeMar DeRozan goes to the Wizards. You have Russ, you got Brad Beal, and you got DeMar DeRozan, you got Hachimura probably moving to the 4. Mm-hmm. That's a solid team. Is that a championship team? I'll let everybody else answer that one.
Right.
DeMar DeRozan, do you look at Chicago? Go pair up with Zach LaVine. Maybe Lonzo Ball comes over there. They get another big, maybe. Miami. Miami would be a good look. The Warriors, you do a sign and trade. Andrew Wiggins, get DeMar DeRozan with Clay and Steph.
Right.
Turn DeMar DeRozan into a shooter. That'd be a good team. Trade Paul George for DeMar DeRozan. Get him and Kawhi on the same team now. I don't know. I don't know obviously I think DeMar DeRozan, I'm a huge DeMar DeRozan advocate. I will always say he needs to get paid big. Where are you thinking he should go, or where do you think he would
go? I like the idea of him being in Washington. It's not bad, but who wants to be just 3? It would be just 3.5 big. It would be like a 3.5. I mean, like Hachimura is good. He's really good, but I mean, compared to when it comes to that playoff time, he's just not ready in his position. I mean, he's gonna be have to be guarding Giannis, KD, and yeah,
Bam
yeah.
Adebayo probably. Yeah.
And we have to be playing really good players, and them good players are really good offensively,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be really tough. But I also think he should just come home, just come back home.
I agree. I think he should sign like a 1+1 or a 2-year deal
Yeah.
with the Lakers. Maybe a 1+1. See if you like it. See if you like winning. Um, and then if you do, by all means, you come right back.
Also, Portland wouldn't be bad.
Portland wouldn't be bad either. I didn't even think about Portland. I think this could be a hot take also. He's not on this list, but if the Portland Trailblazers lose in the first round, is Damian Lillard out of there?
He had to request a trade, huh?
Yeah, he would have. I mean, that's like that's what I mean. Like,
Where would he go though?
I was reading he could ask for a trade to the Knicks, which would be gross. I don't know. I just it was just a thought because I'm thinking like if I'm him, it's been what 7 years now.
He should have been gone.
Yeah, I would have been gone, but I don't know.
Money. He's got the money from them.
Bro, he's got money from Adidas. He doesn't even need the NBA money. Like,
It's about time to win now.
yeah. Another guy, we talked about him a few times throughout the show previously. Kyle Lowry, he averaged 17, 5, and 7 on 43, 39, and 87 shooting. He has a lot to offer still. He is older, but he's got a lot to offer. His defense, he's a facilitator. He's a great leader, big time leader. I think he's out of Toronto. I think that team is starting over, which is good. They'll have a high draft pick. Hopefully they'll pick up somebody decent. I think he could either go home, go to Philly, or what was supposed to happen. He's supposed to go to the Lakers this year. Because we'll talk about Dennis Schroeder in a little bit, but yeah, I think Kyle Lowry's out of there. I would like to see him come to the Lakers. 76ers would be cool. I also heard about the Heat and the Knicks maybe. That'd be good for him. Where do you see Kyle Lowry fitting in next year?
I don't necessarily see him fitting in Philly with Ben Simmons being there.
Right.
Because they're both point guards. And the only thing that Kyle Lowry does better is shoot necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I would take a 6'10" guy over a 6'3" Kyle Lowry.
Right. And then the Lakers I like Kyle Lowry in the Laker uniform, but Dennis Schroeder is apparently unhappy with his role with the team. But I think that has to do more with the money than anything else. I'm just saying that. And Montrez also was complaining. I don't know if you have him on his list, but he would be a free agent.
I do.
Yeah, he's was complaining, but he's just not playing because we necessarily need him this series. Now we do because Anthony Davis is hurt. So
yeah, I don't know. Like you said, Kyle Lowry would fit in the Lakers. I don't know. He'll be a solid guy anywhere he goes, really.
Especially the years that he's been in the league now. I mean, he's
exactly
gotten the experience to know what to do and what not to do. So playing with LeBron, that'd be good.
I agree. Mike Conley's the next guy. He's had a great year with the Jazz this year and last year. I think he'll get paid a lot. He'll make a difference anywhere, really. But I see him just going back to Utah. I don't see him going anywhere else. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on that one. He's probably going back to Utah. He's a loyal guy. He doesn't really like to go anywhere. We talked about John Collins. John Collins is the next guy I have on this list. I think he's going to have a lot of big time offers. He is a restricted free agent though, so Atlanta has the right to match anything that he gets. The question is, will they match it if the price is too rich for them? Like I said, I think he's gonna get paid. He had a hell of a year, 17 and 7, 55% from the field, about 40 from 3, and 83 from the free throw line. So yeah, I mean, John Collins is a solid player. I could see him maybe, Chicago. Because I mean, Laurie Markkinen, we're gonna get to him too. He's probably out of there. John Collins, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan in Chicago.
Ooh.
Lonzo Ball, maybe Kobe White. I don't know. How do you feel about John Collins? You see him sticking around in Atlanta, or you see him going somewhere
Yeah,
else?
I think he's a good fit for Trey Young. I think he likes playing with Trey Young.
Yeah, I agree.
That's his guy right there, man. And I think they're gonna stick together for a long time. I think they're gonna run it out, see where it takes them. That's a good duo right there.
Yeah, that's a really solid 1-2 right there. I agree. Next guy, Lonzo Ball. We talked about him a couple times already. He's also a restricted free agent. The Pelicans can match anything that he gets. I don't think they will. I think they'll let him walk unless it's like a shitty deal and they know they can just keep him for a good price. I think they would keep him then, but I mean they could do a sign and trade. But I think he's out of there. I think I've heard a lot about Chicago, the Knicks maybe. But yeah, I think Lonzo's out of there. Averaged 14 points, 5 assists, 1.5 steals. Improved shooting, 41% from the field, 37 from 3, and 78 from the free throw line. Obviously the Pelicans weren't very good, but I think Lonzo's going to get paid. He's going to get a good amount of money this year. Where do you see him going?
I saw something about the Clippers trying to get him.
Yeah. I remember that earlier in the year.
Yeah. The Chicago might be a good fit for him. Good additional piece for at the point guard position for Zach LaVine. Off the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
I
We'll
wouldn't
see.
have kept him either.
Yeah, we'll see. Next guy we talked about, Dennis Schroeder. I'll get right into this. He turned down a 4-year, $84 million extension with the Lakers. I guess he wants somewhere close to 100 is what I was reading. Yeah, I don't agree with Dennis Schroeder getting 100 million. I get where he's getting this from. Like the Lakers wanted me. This. That's cool. You need to win.
Right.
So if we win, sure, go ahead and go get 100 million, but you can get that somewhere else. Because I think offering him 84 was a little outrageous. Like, I thought that seemed like a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really done anything like.
Yeah, he's averaging 15 points, 5 assists, but like.
But they're worth the money. They're worth whatever they pay you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever he gets. I don't know where he would go. I haven't really heard anything. I think I don't want to get too much into that because we're focused on winning a championship here. So hopefully, Dennis Schroeder doesn't let any of this stuff bother him, and we get to another ring. A couple other people I want to breeze through. Rashawn Holmes is going to be a free agent. He had a really good year. He's going to get paid. I think he's going to get paid a lot. I don't know where he's going to go. He's currently with the Kings. Maybe stay with the Kings because I know Marvin Bagley is probably out of there because he stinks. So, Rashawn Holmes is a good player. He'll go somewhere and get paid. Next guy, Jared Allen. He's going to be a restricted free agent, so the Cavaliers can match whatever he gets. I don't know. Not Jared Allen.
Holmes. He's good. He's really good.
Yeah, Rashawn Holmes is good.
And I don't know if they're gonna sign him back. I think they can get somebody else.
In Cleveland, though? Another guy, player option, Spencer Dinwiddie. He's got a player option 1 year left with the Brooklyn Nets. I don't see why he wouldn't come back.
Yeah, he's gonna come back.
Yeah, unless he's trying to start somewhere because he's not going to start over Kyrie or James Harden. So
great piece off the bench.
Yeah, good 6-man action. Another guy, Kelly Ubrey, is going to be a free agent. He's an interesting guy. Yeah. I don't know about this guy. Sometimes he'll be really good. Sometimes he's the worst player on the court. I'm laughing, but I'm serious. He'll have games where he'll have 22 points, and then he'll have 3 points, and his plus minus will be minus 19. It's man.
Going out there, buddy.
Yeah, what's going on, buddy? I don't know. He's currently with the Warriors. Will they bring him back? I don't really care. I don't know where he fits in really, because he's kind of a average all around player. So I don't know.
I think they can bring him back. He just if they let Wiggins walk, they'll bring him back.
They got a trade Andrew Wiggins. He's still under contract.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Get out of there. See you later.
Another guy, Tim Hardaway Jr. We talked about him earlier with the Mavericks. He's going to be a free agent. I don't really see him going anywhere. I see him coming back to Dallas.
He's gonna get some.
Yeah, he's got to get paid though. He's been playing really well, so I think he'll get paid. I don't know. Don't really know too much about Tim Hardaway Jr. Another guy, Duncan Robinson, going to be a restricted free agent. So what the Heat can match whatever he gets. But I was reading and I was telling you, he is going to get offers north of $20 million a year. Will the Miami Heat match that? I do not think so. Like
20 million, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for Duncan Robinson.
It's a lot of money for Duncan Robinson. I agree.
Right.
That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for Duncan Robinson. But hey, man, he about to get 20 million to shoot some threes. So
shoot some threes, man.
Hey, man.
Shoot the three. That's crazy.
That's what's up. Good for him. Another guy we talked about Lowry Markkinen the other day. Yeah. He's a restricted free agent also, so Chicago can match his deal. I don't think he will because he's out of there. I see him going to Dallas. He said he wants to play for Dallas. That's what's up. He hasn't really been too good. So I don't know what kind of deal he's going to get. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. But hey, Lowry Markkinen, get paid if you want, man. That's what's up.
You can fit in Washington.
Yep.
But then again, it's Washington.
Next guy, Bobby Portis is going to be a free agent. He's with the Bucks right now. He's playing really well. I don't know if they'll bring him back, but he's a good fit anywhere. That big crazy motherfucker. He'll get paid, get some rebounds, play some defense. Shout out to Bobby Portis. Last two guys, we have two Lakers on the board. We got Montrez Harold, who has a player option. He can come back next year if he wants. I hope he does. I like Montrez Harold.
Montrez, man.
I don't know where he'll go. He's a good energy guy, though. He'll fit in a lot of places. Last guy, restricted free agent. Taylon Horton Tucker is a restricted free agent this summer. So the Lakers would have to match a deal for him to come back. Will they match a deal? Was my biggest question. I think it depends.
Yeah.
How much are we talking here?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know because he's been playing really well. So I think a team, hear me out, a team like New Orleans would take a chance and pay this kid to get him off that team because he's young. They're young. They're trying to build something. A team like Toronto could do the same thing. I know he was the deal breaker why we didn't get Kyle Lowry. They wanted him. We didn't want to give him up. So I think he has a really good opportunity to get paid, especially if we win another championship. And he'll have 2 rings on his resume. I'm assuming he'll play more this year. So I don't know. If he doesn't get a deal back with the Lakers, I think a team like the Pelicans or the Raptors could pick him up. What do you think about these last two guys?
I love Montrez, man. I think Montrez should come back, even though, he's just experiencing a different coaching style right now. Him making that tweet about wasted time is the worst feeling. But it's like we don't necessarily need. There's just certain rotations that involve in certain game plans that you just have to understand in current situations. So it's like you just have to take that under wraps and just support your teammates whenever you can.
I agree. It was just like last year. Remember how Dwight and JaVale McGee weren't playing in games? They were sitting
Right.
out games, and then the next series they were starting and playing a lot. It's just like you got to know when it's your time.
Right. And when it's your time, you better go balls to the wall.
Yeah, you got like when it's your time, you gotta go. You gotta
And
go.
tonight's gonna be his time if Anthony Davis isn't playing.
What about THT?
He's I think yeah, like you said, they have I don't know if the Lakers would want to match it, and I don't think they would be thinking about it right now, but eventually do probably have to depend on how he plays now. Because we know we already showed he did it last year. Let's see if he can do it again. If he does it again, that means we got a star in the making.
I agree.
So I'd imagine at that point I'd probably match any.
I agree. So I'm glad we got to talk about that a little bit because I know free agency is not for. It seems like a long time, but August 2nd is only 2 months away.
Right.
So we'll be hopping into free agency soon. There's gonna be a lot of shit to cover, especially with these next couple weeks in the playoffs. Hopefully, things go the way we want them to. Yeah. So that wraps up our another episode of All in the Mix. It's episode 15, like I said. Shout out to my guy Nijel coming through today, helping out with the show. Like I said, we'll be having different people on hosting with me. Just because that's just how we're gonna do things now. Yes, sir. So, like I said, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch now. Turn the notifications on Twitch because I'll be hopping on randomly. I'll post about it here and there. I don't know. Come watch, come laugh, talk shit in the chat. All that fun stuff. So, like I said, that wraps up our episode. This will be out when you see it.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I said don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know I'm all in the mix, all in the mix. Talk to me nice, all in the mix.